Hey my dear friends, once again welcome back to the channel. I am Gaurav here and that's the 22nd video of this series. Okay, in the last video we worked on VFX effects in our game, and now in today's video we will add a music and some sound effects in the game. So let's get started, but before we begin, as I always say, if you are new in the channel then please check out our previous videos first. Also subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit that bell icon, it's absolutely free. Alright, so you know that if the game has very beautiful music and awesome sound effects, then the player can be hooked to the game for a long time, even if the game itself isn't really good, right? Cause without audio, the game can be boring no matter how good it looks. Actually, a beautiful music is a key part of any game. You know, no one likes to play the game without sound for a long time. Even you're not gonna play the game which you made by yourself if there is no sound in it, isn't it? So let's add a beautiful music and some awesome sound effects in our game. Now first thing first, we have to get the music and some effects for our game. But where do we will get all these music and effects? Well, here we have two ways to get the music and the sound effects for our game. The first way is that to create all our required audios by ourselves from the scratch. And then the another way is we can just simply use internet to find out all our required music and effects for our game. So for now we are going with the second way. That means we're gonna download all our required audios from the mighty internet. But friends, always keep in mind that whatever audio you're gonna use in your game, it should be always copyright free or royalty free. Cause when you'll publish your game in any store with the copyright audio, then it can give you a lot of trouble. The worst part is that you can lose your developer account due to copyright strike, like Google's developer account. Yeah, they can terminate your developer account on your first mistake. So therefore beware of copyrights. Do not use any copyright audio or anything in your game that can give you copyright strike. Always use copyright free stuff or create your own assets. Okay, now if we can't use any random music in our game, so how do we get copyright free audio for our game? Well, there is a bunch of websites on the internet that offers us copyright free music and effects. So now here I'm gonna show you some websites to get copyright free music and effects for free, such as Pixabay.com, FreeSound.org, OpenGameArt, Zapsplat.com. And then last but not least, here we have YouTube's audio library. So I've given these websites links in the description box, but there are lots of websites on the internet where we can get free music and effects for our projects. So I often use music from these websites, and for the effects I mostly prefer to make my own effects. Okay, let's download our music and some effects for our game. Now open your browser, and here first we will go to the website named Pixabay, and then here we will click on the music. Now you see we've got bunch of soundtracks. Okay, here on the search bar we will find our music, which is Drone Trace, and then just download it by clicking on the download button and save it anywhere on your desktop. So we've got the music for our game, and now we have to find the sound effects. Okay, so let's go back to the previous page, and here this time we'll click on the sound effects, and then here we will search for real explosion. Here it is. Now download it, and then let's search for our another effect, that is Suit02, and then download it. Now we need one last sound effect, and to get that effect we have to go to the YouTube's audio library, and here in the sound effects we will search for pool table ball. Here it is. Now download it on your desktop. But before we will use these audios in our game, first we have to trim these audios. As you see, these audio clips are huge and full of unnecessary audios. So cause I only want some specific audios from these clips, so we have to process them first and then we will use these audios. Now to process these clips I'm gonna use Audacity app, and it's a free audio editor app. But if in case you don't have Audacity app, then I've already given its link on the description box, so go ahead and install it. And now let's open it. Okay, so this app is very powerful and robust tool for audio editing. But for now I'm not gonna talk much about it, otherwise this video will be huge. So for now you just follow me and follow my all step, and Maybe in the future videos I will make a separate video for the Audacity app. Now drag that pool table ball audio over here, and now first let's get rid of these spaces. To do this, simply click on the clip where there is no audio and then drag the mouse to the end of the audio clip and then press the delete button. That way we can get the desired SFX we want. Now to export it, and here on the top left corner click on the file button and then export it as a MP3 and name it Collision SFX or whatever you want to name it, and then save it. Now let's process other audios too. Drag the real explosion audio in there, and here I only want that very first part of the audio clip, that one. Now save it as MP3 and name it Destroy SFX, and then save it, press on OK, and now let's process our final audio and name it Shoot SFX. So here we have all our audios. Now let's have a look in the Unity, and here within the project tab I'm gonna create a new folder and I'll name it audio, and then in it I'll create two more folders, one for music and one for SFX. Now drag that music within the music folder and then drag these sound effects within the SFX folder. Okay, so let's add these music and SFX in our game, but first we have to understand about how sound works in Unity. So there are three main components within the Unity which makes sound possible in our game, and they are audio listener, audio source, and then of course we also need an audio file. Without these we cannot hear any audio in our game. So in order to listen any audio in our game, we need an audio listener component in our game. By default, the audio listener is always on the main camera. Now, if you click on the main camera and then on the inspector tab, then you'll see that it has an audio listener component attached on it. Because the main camera is where we see everything in the game, so therefore it makes sense that our ears should be the same place where our eyes are. Correct? And then we also need an audio source to play the audio. So the audio source can be anywhere in the world that is supposed to generate a sound in the game. Like if we want any music in our game, then we have to add an audio source somewhere in the game. So for now I'm gonna add an audio source component on the main camera itself. And then here you see there are a bunch of sliders and lots of other settings. Like here we have priority, volume, pitch, play on awake, and so on. But for now we are only interested on the audio clip slot, so that's the place where we will pass the reference of our audio file which we wanna play. Okay, let's pass our music reference in there. Just drag that music in the audio clip slot, and now if we press on the play button, then the music should play. Let's click on the play button. And boom, here we go. Now we can able to listen the music in our game. And now let's take a look on the inspector tab. There is a checkbox called loop just beneath the play on awake here, you see. And if we click on the loop, then the music will keep looping over and over again, of course as long as the game is on. So we have added a nice music in our game, and now it's time to add sound effects to the game. Well then, the first thing we need to figure out that when and where we wanna put SFX in our game. Okay, to find out, let's play our game once again. Click on the play button. Now I wanna hear shoot SFX audio to whenever our player or the enemy shoot projectiles. And even then, when these projectiles hit the wall or any other object, we will hear the collision SFX, and then the final sound effect that will play when our player or the enemy will destroy it. So let's take a look at our scripts. Now first of all, open the projectile script, and here at the bottom we will play our collision SFX in the onCollisionEnter function, and that's exactly when we will see the collision effect. So here we will write a code to play collision SFX. But wait, I have an idea to play collision SFX without writing a code. Well, the idea is that instead of writing a code for a SFX that is only gonna last for a second, let me show you another simple way to play that SFX audio. So So to do that, let's go back to the Unity, and here within the prefabs folder, I will add the audio source component to the collision effect and to the destroy effect as well. And then here at the collision effect, I'll pass on that collision SFX audio. And then on the destroy effect, I will pass destroy SFX. So let's test it now and hit the play button. Now shoot some projectile. Look how satisfying it feels, isn't it? And we haven't tried any code for these SFX. Now let's go closer to the enemy to see the destroy SFX. Now shoot some projectiles, shoot. And wow, that sound was awesome, wasn't it? So we are done with the destroy and collision SFX, and now we will add shoot SFX to our game. But this time we will learn to add audio through a script. So let's go to the weapon script, and now here in the update function inside the for each loop, we will play the shoot SFX at the same time as we are instantiating the projectile prefab. Okay, so to do this, first we have to get the audio source component from the player. So let's scroll to the top, and here we will create a private audio source type variable to store the audio source, and then name it audio source with a small a. Now within the start function, here we will get the audio source from the object where this script is attached on. Audio source equal get component audio source. Now within the for each loop, here we will play our shoot SFX audio source dot play one shot. Well, before we go any further, let's take a look at play one shot function. Look, when I hover mouse over play one shot function, then you see here it takes two parameters. First is audio clip which we wanna play, and the second one is a volume scale to scale volume value in a float and one overload. So with the help of this method, or you say the function, we can easily play multiple audio clips from the same audio source component rather than adding multiple audio source to a single game object. So here we will pass our shoot SFX. Now let's create an audio clip type variable, serialized field private audio clip, and I'll name it shoot SFX, and then I'll decrease its volume to 0.5f. And now it's time for your challenge. Give a shoot SFX to our enemy. All you have to do is to open the enemy AI script and then create two variables there, one for audio source and one for audio clip, and then get the audio source component from the enemy, and then find the spot where our enemy's projectiles being instantiated. Then play shoot SFX at the same time. So quickly pause the video and try it by yourself, and I'll meet you in a second. Now welcome back guys. I'm sure you guys have already completed that easy challenge, but if not, no problem, let's complete that task together. So here within the enemy AI script, first here we will create two variables for audio source and one for audio clip. Private audio source, and for the audio clip, serialized field private audio clip shoot SFX. And now within the start function, here we will get our audio source component audio source equal get component audio source, and then here within the for each loop, we will call play one shot function, and here we will pass shoot SFX and then decrease its volume to 0.5f. And that's it, we are done with the script. And now let's hop back to the Unity. Now select both player and the enemy, and then add an audio source component to them. Pass the shoot SFX to the player and the enemy, and uncheck player on awake. And that's it. Now press the play button and see if everything is going well or not. Player shoot SFX is working fine, and collision SFX is also working fine. And now let's go closer to the enemy and see if everything is going well or not. And everything is working fine as expected. So that's all in this video, and we are almost done with the game audio. Now in the next video we will learn how to load next level, but till then keep learning, keep practicing, and I'll meet you in the further upcoming videos. For now, see ya later.